What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Shameless Watch Collector. AliExpress has been getting a lot of love on this channel lately, so I think it's time we venture over to the other side of what we cover here and give Amazon its own edition of an SWC brand guide. For anyone who didn't catch the AliExpress brand guides, here's the format. I come up with a handful of fun categories and throw a few brands into each. AliExpress already has 3 editions of a 2026 brand guide, so if you don't see your favorite Amazon watch brand in this video, just stay tuned for part 2. And I feel like I have to say this every time we talk about Amazon. Pricing is the Wild West over there, somehow even more chaotic than AliExpress. A watch can be priced $475 one day, $150 the next, and $375 the day after that. A lot of sellers use Amazon pricing algorithms that constantly adjust the asking price, which can make these videos super annoying to make, or get you guys annoyed with me in the comments because it looks like I'm lying about prices. So here's what I'll do. I'll throw up some screenshots of some of the best deals I found at the time of making this video. And if it changes later, I still think this is valuable because it highlights which watches are constantly fluctuating on Amazon, meaning deals can absolutely be found if you keep your eye on them. And as always, I'll leave affiliate links to every listing I mention in the description below. Alright, that's enough housekeeping. Let's get into it. We'll get this category out of the way first. Brands who are undefeated on SWC Amazon videos. Basically, brands that get mentioned every time I talk about Amazon because they're that consistent. And first up is Citizen. If you've been following watches for more than 24 hours, you know who Citizen is. And I think they deserve every bit of love they get. Citizen consistently makes some of the most cost-effective, attractive watches you'll find from a major brand, and they've only expanded their empire over time, acquiring Bulova in 2008 and having Miyota in the mix since all the way back in 1959. First up, we have the Odin, which I think might be Citizen's most underrated watch. I just don't think this 41mm Eco-Drive stunner gets anywhere near enough attention. I love the case shape, and the thickness is unreal at under 10mm. You're getting Citizen's Eco-Drive tech, which means it's powered by any light and never needs a battery. And you can often find certain colors under $200 on Amazon, which is exceptional value considering the retail price is $450. Don't sleep on this watch. One you probably have heard of though is the Seiko, what's quickly becoming the landmark sports watch for Citizen. This is the 40mm version, and it nails the dimensions again, coming at only 12.1mm thick. That's impressive for an automatic, and this one uses the Citizen NJ015 series mechanical movement. The styling is just minimalism done right, and the pricing ranges wildly depending on the dial color. But you'll often find certain colors, like the yellow here, marked all the way down to $300, which is far below its retail price of $475. Another Citizen mechanical delivering great value is the ProMaster C Dive Automatic. This 41mm diver is offered on a stainless steel bracelet or a silicone strap, and most colorways can be found on Amazon for under $300. This one uses the Citizen Caliber 8204, a 21 joule automatic, and it brings 200 meters of water resistance and a dial texture that I really enjoy. We got the obligatory mention of the ProMaster Eco-Drive Titanium here, one of my favorite titanium watches in the world. This monster 44mm diver only weighs 110 grams with the bracelet, thanks to that full titanium construction. This is titanium being pushed to the absolute limit and used properly. But you get what you pay for. The list price is around $500, but that said, the silver one right now is only $315 on Amazon. That's good value. One more diver from Citizen that keeps popping up for me under super deals or whatever Amazon calls it is the Sport Automatic Diver. And I'm noticing it a lot because it keeps tempting me. I love the shades of blue they played with here, especially that lighter one. Even the black dial pops like crazy because of that two-tone bezel insert. This 42mm diver uses the 8200 series mechanical movement, has 100 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, and a really good looking stainless steel bracelet. This one always seems to be marked down from its $675 list price. Let's switch gears a little bit now with the Weekender Eco-Drive Black IP stainless steel. I love the design of this one. It hits the sweet spot between aggressive and clean with a black ion-plated stainless steel bracelet paired with a navy dial and polished indices that keep it looking very sharp. It's 41mm and only 11mm thick, so great execution all around. It's currently marked down to just $242 on Amazon, well below the $350 retail price. And staying in that neighborhood, we've got the Chronograph Quartz AN8050, another great value piece and another textured dial. This one runs Citizen's Quartz Chronograph caliber 0520, and it's currently the lowest priced Citizen on this list, marked down to $157 on Amazon from its $210 normal retail price. Whew. Hope you guys enjoyed that Citizen rapid fire. I mean, I could honestly fill an entire video with Citizen pieces on Amazon for killer prices. There's just too many. So we gotta keep it rolling to our next brand that remains undefeated on these Amazon videos. Timex. Let's start with the E-Line, a very exciting new piece from Timex. This one is a huge gift to the small wrist gang, 34mm in diameter and 12 thick. It feels like it fell straight out of a time machine, nodding to their 1983 TB dial watches in a way that still works really well in 2026. Timex has also been playing with expansion bands a lot lately, which definitely won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's a fun twist, especially on a retro watch. And that's what they went with here, and I think it matches this one perfectly, and I like that integrated look. And if you're not an expansion band watch person, there is a leather strap option. The dial is minimalist, but it channels the 1983 vibe so well while adding tiny modern touches and fun colors like that bright blue. Timex put the 8215 automatic inside, 21 joules, proven workhorse. This is my favorite Timex piece since the Marlin chronograph with the automotive stripes, and it feels like a no-brainer for smaller wrists. You can currently find it around its $249 retail price on Amazon. One more retro piece, the 1979 reissue Q Diver. This is a classic quartz diver with sizing that stays true to the era at 38mm in diameter. You're getting another expansion bracelet here as well. This one is currently marked all the way down to $143 from its normal price of $220. The Expedition Scout is a watch you should pretty much only buy on Amazon or from an Amazon liquidation store in your neighborhood, like I did, but you should own one regardless. There are about 1 million dial, case, and size combinations, and all of them are always priced differently. So the move is simple. Click different variations until you find the combo you like at a price that feels like a glitch. Because even the normal price for an Expedition Scout, which is about north of $50, still feels like a steal. This is a no-brainer daily piece that looks great in any collection. Mine gets plenty of wrist time, and every time I wear it, I can't believe how inexpensive it was. And I love that Indiglo backlight. I'd look to pick this one up for anywhere around $25 to $30. Another Timex line that I'm a big fan of is their Falcon Eye series, specifically the chronographs. I love the dial pattern and the integrated looking bracelet, and Timex just makes some of the most attractive chronographs out there. The blue one especially looks incredibly vivid. The chronograph is 40mm, while the three-hand is 38. You can find most of these under $200 on Amazon right now. All in all, I don't think I need to tell you guys to keep your eyes on Timex listings on Amazon. They're an obvious one to always be looking at to find quality, attractive pieces at great prices. Our last undefeated brand, predictably, is Casio. I think it's fair to say every collection needs at least one Casio. Casio turns 80 this year, and from day one, they've been delivering some of the best value watches you can buy. 8 decades later, and nothing has changed. The first piece that I think is basically a requirement for any dive watch collection is the MDV 106, or the Duro. All things considered, I genuinely believe this is the best value dive watch in the world. Nothing matches the quality, design, price, and brand heritage quite like the Duro. And I can't believe I haven't told you guys this yet. You can grab stainless steel bracelets on AliExpress made specifically for this watch for like $20, and it completely transforms the look. I personally think mine looks 10 times more premium on this stainless steel bracelet. I'll leave those linked in the description as well. Prices on Duros fluctuate constantly on Amazon. The black one is currently $59 for me, but the Duro always shows up on big Amazon sales and it can get ridiculously cheap. I got mine for around $30. I'm also just a sucker for Casio's quartz tank style watches with the digital screen included. They're just charming, simple, practical, and perfect dailies. The 38mm, the AQ230A, is currently available for $46 on Amazon, and the AQ800-7A has a slightly different case shape and wears smaller at about 32mm, but has the same overall feel. And another Casio detail that I love is that graph paper style dial. It's not for everyone, but it's a cool retro touch that I really enjoy. I recently picked up the Edifice EFB 108D78V a few months ago, and I can't recommend it enough. It's insanely thin at 8.7mm, easily the thinnest watch in my collection. but it still has a ton of wrist presence because the case diameter is 45 millimeters. So it wears planted and substantial, but it doesn't feel like anything. Also, the sapphire crystal doesn't have the same glare issues I've seen with other Casio edifice models, and the white dial looks far more premium in person than it does in photos. I love the integrated bracelet, easily one of the best Casio bracelets I've ever handled, and it's currently sitting at around $150 on Amazon, which by Casio standards isn't necessarily cheap, but I think the value is still there on this watch. Another edifice quartz worth checking out is the 160D, with a really cool textured dial. This one is 40 millimeters and it still wears really slim at only 10 millimeters thick. You also get 100 meters of water resistance here, which I think is the trade-off because you're getting mineral glass instead of sapphire. The price is less though, currently sitting around $116 on Amazon. Casio is another brand I could easily fill an entire video with, and I probably will one day. But in the meantime, go explore the Casio rabbit hole on Amazon. You'll be shocked about how many great value, attractive watches you can find on there. It's time to move on to our second category. Brands who are often far less expensive on Amazon than their own websites. This could have applied to the first three brands too, but these next ones are where the gap gets even more dramatic. And let's start by finishing off the Mount Rushmore of Amazon watch hunting with Seiko. I don't need to explain how awesome or important Seiko is. The kings of Japanese mechanical movements, and probably the most rite of passage brand in this hobby. If you somehow don't have one yet, or if you have 354 and you're trying to decide on your 355th, Amazon is actually a great place to dig for a deal. Because here's the other and uncomfortable side of modern Seiko that's being talked about more and more. Seiko has gotten too expensive. Plain and simple. I might have made a bunch of you mad just by saying that, but I think it's hard to ignore. If you go on their website, there's only a handful of watches in the under $300 section, and most are sized for women with dials far below 36 millimeters. In the $300 to $500 section is mostly just Seiko 5 Sports, and if you want a diver with the stainless steel band, they start at $450. And I think we all know Seiko is not exactly famous for mind-blowing bracelets and perfect alignment. You're buying reliability from the source, and let's be honest, the logo. Owning a Seiko is cool, and Seiko seems to know that now. So it's nice when you can get their 41mm GMT SSK 019 with what actually looks like a very solid Jubilee bracelet for $343 right now, way below its normal price of $495. And I love that Seiko keeps giving us transparent case backs, because you get one here showing off that beautiful 24 jewel automatic movement. I always seem to be showing off the Seiko 5 Sports, especially the SNKK27 specifically, because that's where some of the best Amazon Seiko deals seem to live. It's currently marked down to only $144, which feels like an absolute steal for this 38mm beauty. I love that blue dial that gives off real automotive energy, and plus another transparent case back, and the universal sizing that works on just about any wrist. But if that dial isn't exactly your thing, there are other versions that feel like entirely different watches. The champagne dial with a gold bracelet to match is currently just $181. And there are silver variations with gorgeous dial textures and more minimalist options, many also sitting below $200. I'd argue the SNK, SNX, and the SNKK family is one of the best ways to grab a Seiko for dead cheap on Amazon. Now, I already told you that stainless steel bracelet divers on Seiko's website start at $450, and pretty much every diver period is $375 or more. So I was hyped when I found the SRP-D95, a 42.5mm automatic diver using the 4R36 movement, currently marked down to only $260. You're getting 100 meters of water resistance, a silicone strap, and a classic Seiko diver that belongs in any collection. Or how about the SRP-D93 listing I found? Basically the same watch and movement, same strap combo, but with a beautiful blue dial and bezel. This one's marked down to $249. So there you go, a handful of gorgeous Seikos, either among the least expensive or way below anything you'll find on their website. But I've got one more for the big ballers watching. The Prospex Speed Timer is just, oh my goodness. I love how deep that chronograph dial sits in the case, the bezel looks perfect, and they picked all the right colors. You're also getting sapphire crystal here, which is rarer on Seiko than it should be. This is a 41.4mm piece, and it's 13mm thick. Great sizing if you want a chrono with real wrist presence, but the price of beauty does not come cheap here. It's marked down 20% on Amazon right now, so instead of $750, you can grab it for $600. And if you're watching this and thinking, that's chump change, First off, I'm jealous of you, and second off, please leave me a super chat, because I want one too. But seriously, Seiko is one of my favorite brands that deal hunt for on Amazon. So next time you get that Seiko itch, check Amazon first. The next deal hunter brand is Bulova. I got my hands on my first proper modern Bulova a few months ago with the Marine Star Series B diver. You can see my Bulova versus San Martin face-off video for the full in-depth review. But that watch taught me one thing: don't pay retail for a Bulova, especially the ones priced $500 and below. These are beautiful watches, don't get me wrong, and the brand recognition and heritage are undeniable, but the quality makes way more sense at Amazon prices than it does their website prices. The Marine Star Series B included, because it's basically never listed at its $475 retail price on Amazon. I got mine during Black Friday for only $250. But on to other watches. I found a pretty crazy price on the Aerojet Automatic, the one with the gray dial, marked down to $250 from its normal price of $550. This is a gorgeous watch, and the partially exposed movement at the bottom of the dial adds attitude without turning it into a gimmick. This 39mm watch uses the Miyota-based 21-jewel automatic. Citizen owns Bulova, and Miyota is part of that ecosystem, so you're getting a reliable movement in a watch that looks way more expensive than what you're paying on Amazon. Along that same line is the 96A246 field watch. I don't normally think Bulova when I think field watch, but wow, they designed a great dial here while still keeping that Bulova character. It's 38mm and you're getting an automatic hacking movement. The Miyota 82S0, 21 joules with about a 42-hour power reserve. The price in this watch reinforces the whole don't pay retail for Bulova thing. It's marked down from $425 to $250. I also still recommend the Marine Star Series B quartz chronograph and the Mark Anthony Series A automatic. A lot of my issues with my Marine Star Series diver came down to how dated it felt. Mine came out back in 2014, and you feel it in the materials, especially the bracelet and clasp. The Series B Chrono came out in 2018, and the Mark Anthony Series A came out in 2023. That matters a lot. You can really feel the difference in finishing and bracelet quality. The Series B Chrono feels much more premium than its older diver brother. The bracelet is lighter without feeling jangly, the clasp makes more sense for the price, and the design looks way sharper. And if you don't trust the 2018 Bulova bracelet, there is a leather strap option too. This one is 43mm, and you still get 100 meters of water resistance, and it's still stylized with those little stars around the rating that I really love. This is another one that's constantly discounted. Right now the bracelet version is $275, while the leather strap version is $285, which is funny, but either way, it's still far below its $575 retail price. The Mark Anthony takes modern Bulova and cranks it up 10 notches. You're getting 200 meters of water resistance, and the movement is the 82S5 automatic. Open heart, so it's visible through the dial and the exhibition case back. And the sundial looking thing on the dial, that's your second subdial. So it's there so you can see the watch running without relying on the open heart cutout. The blue on this watch is so vibrant and beautiful. The black subdial works perfectly with it too, and even the gold tone that you catch from the movement somehow works also. You've got white typography, polished indices. This watch is just controlled chaos in a really good way. It's 44mm, so the biggest one of the bunch, but it wears like it knows how important it is. And the bracelet on this one is easily the most premium of the bunch. You can currently find it for just over $450 on Amazon, down from its $750 retail price. And finally, as a bonus, check out this quartz Cartier style 968169 with that bold modern two-tone look on the bracelet. Really interesting. This is a 39mm piece, but ultra thin at only 8mm, so it makes it very versatile for how loud that styling is with the bracelet. You can get this one for just over $200 on Amazon, and there's currently a coupon available that drops it all the way down to $162. So if Bulova wins you over and you need one in your collection, or if you understandably need another one, go bargain hunting on Amazon. Check frequently though, especially during big sales. These prices seem like they change by the hour, but there is some gold out there waiting to be discovered. Let's keep it going with our next category. Two brands providing some of the best value on Amazon. And first up is Spinnaker. This might be my favorite brand on this whole list besides Seiko. I just love what Spinnaker does, and their Halloween special from last year is one of my more achievable grail watches right now. I want that thing so bad. But back to what's on Amazon. I'm a huge fan of their Floose line in just about every color combination it comes in. This is a 43mm automatic diver powered by the Miyota 8215. You're getting a screw-down crown, great loom architecture, and 150 meters of water resistance. The exuberant orange is currently marked down to just $179 on Amazon, which might be the most tempting deal on this entire list. The lagoon green is also $179, while the blue and red are currently sitting at their normal price of $305, which is still really strong value for the materials you're getting here and the quality that Spinnaker is known for. The SP5062 brings the same vintage diver energy, but with more restrained colorways and a smaller 42mm case, plus some stainless steel bracelet options. You can also get a textured dial here that looks perfect with the ocean vibe that they seem to always bring to their divers. This one is powered by the Seiko NH35, and the water resistance is slightly increased to 180 meters. You can currently snag the leather strap versions for just under $200, and the stainless steel ones for just above $200. Either way, that's about $100 off retail. We'll put a nice bow on their vintage style divers by taking a look at the 42mm SP5121. This one feels like a greatest hits of the two I just showed you. You get choices that include the vibrant, loud colorways, as well as more subtle, classic options. And instead of having to choose between a bracelet or strap, you're getting both here. You also get sapphire crystal with AR coating, a loomed bezel, 180 meters of water resistance, and the NH34 movement. A few colors are currently marked down to just below $400, which is about $100 less than its regular price of $490. Either way, this watch is packing a lot of value and feels like one of the more premium Spinnaker pieces. One that feels more modern than those three and has a dial texture that is genuinely stunning is the SP5159 Automatic. This one is inspired by the Challenger Deep with a three-dimensional beautiful dial and a wild, incredibly tall bubble glass that brings the watch width all the way to 19mm. I've never quite seen anything like that. Every colorway just jumps off the watch on this one. This NH35 powered 42mm diver has one of the best dial textures you'll find in this category, period. And it's stacked on specs too. AR coated sapphire again, 300 meters of water resistance this time, 2 different loom tones, a stainless steel bracelet plus a silicone strap, and a screw down crown. This is one of my favorite Spinnaker pieces out there, and it's currently available for its retail price of $445 on Amazon. When you compare the materials and specs to other watches at this price point, I think Spinnaker is clearly still delivering some of the best value. Another company delivering insane value on Amazon is Ratio. We'll start with the one I just got my hands on, their Free Diver. This watch had been catching my eye for a while because the specs to price ratio looked kinda suspicious. I mean, 200 meters of water resistance, NH35 movement, sapphire crystal with AR, 316L stainless steel case and bracelet, all for $100? That's the kind of deal that makes you assume there's a catch, right? My curiosity got the best of me, so I ordered the green one. Mostly because I already have way too many divers, but none with that specific shade of green, and I wanted to see how closely that complicated color matched the online photos to real life. I'm happy to say the dial looks identical in person, and I was genuinely impressed overall. It comes in a nice, really quality looking box, and the quality across the board was way beyond what the price suggests. My only real complaint here is that the bezel has a good amount of play, but beyond that, the bracelet was far nicer than I expected, and the watch looks and feels great on wrist. Most of the dial colors for this one sit right around $100, which I can confirm now is absurd value. They also make a smaller 38mm version of this watch. Priced the same, this one uses the NH05 movement, and it also brings some new awesome dial options like a mother of pearl, and I love that black bezel insert too. It looks incredible with it. I'm a big fan of their newest release, the Street Racer Chronograph. This beautiful 38mm chronograph uses the Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz and brings the same premium materials approach as the Free Diver. So again, 316L stainless steel, AR coated sapphire, 200 meters of water resistance, and BGW9 loom. This one's actually a limited edition piece though. They're only making 5,000 total, and it's currently still available at its early bird price of $199. And finally, their Helium Diver is where you get the most water resistance on this entire list. 1,000 meters, plus the NH36 movement and a helium escape valve, so you can definitely actually go scuba diving in this watch. All of this does add up to a really chunky watch though, as you'd predict. It's a 47mm case and 15mm thick. But again, I think you expect that on a watch like this, and the value still remains ridiculous because this one is available for only $150. So yeah, turns out Ratio isn't one of those too good to be true brands. They're just making fun automatic watches, albeit simple, but with premium materials for the prices that you're paying. Alright, if you've seen the AliExpress brand guides, you've probably been waiting for this part. And don't worry, we're gonna roast some brands here, and Amazon gives us plenty to work with, and I feel less bad doing it here too. So this category is 2 brands on Amazon that I do not care for in the slightest. And let's start with 2 easy targets. First up, Invicta. Invicta was the focus of the first ever SWC video, where we took an in-depth look at their GA2100 homage. And honestly, I still own this watch and I do enjoy it. I paid close to nothing for it on Amazon. I mean, it's still $25 on there, but it holds a special place in my heart because of its history on the channel. And their Pro Diver is a legitimately solid value piece. It's surprisingly restrained and well executed in both design and sizing, at 40mm in diameter and 12.5 thick. It also brings strong specs for its typical $50 to $75 Amazon pricing, getting a screw-down crown, a stainless steel bezel, and 200 meters of water resistance. And that's where the nice things I have to say about Invicta end. I don't know who Invicta is competing with to create the ugliest watch with the worst dimensions, but I'm pretty sure Invicta is winning. So many of their watches look like they were designed for children, but sized for NBA centers. Like, why is this transparent case watch 48.5mm? What possible excuse could you have for that? And $58? You're joking. And if you know this channel, you know I'm usually a sucker for 2 things: small design details and racing themed watches. Invicta somehow managed to screw up both on this watch. This blue is revolting, especially with that strap that doesn't even match it at all. And do they think that brake caliper around the left subdial is cute? It's not. And maybe it's just me, but transparent watches look childish to me. And this watch should be 38mm, maybe 40, but Invicta said 46mm. Why? And those are the least offensive ones I'm showing you, by far. Buckle up. I don't know why, what it represents, or if it has any function at all, but Invicta is putting rope on a lot of their watches. Just rope. If you wanted a bezel, too bad. You're getting rope instead. And they have so many rope watches that I cannot believe made it out of the design room. Who is greenlighting this stuff? And their rope obsession might be the most fascinating thing they've ever done. And for all that rope, you obviously need a big watch. I mean, what are you gonna do? Wear a normal sized watch like some kind of loser? But Invicta did hook us up with a small version, to be fair. Definitely for the ladies and the small wrist gang out there, just like the Timex E-line. This one is only 48mm, so you know, incredibly versatile for any human. It definitely won't look like there's a steering wheel attached to your wrist or anything. But if 48mm is too small for you, I get that. No one's gonna notice a 48mm watch. So boom, 50mm rope watch. Quartz, of course, but who cares when you have those tasteful numbers where the bezel should be? In the gold and navy, they totally work together. It definitely doesn't want to make me want to gag, not at all. And I'm glad they matched the rope to the dial. That's really important to me. Hard to believe you can get this beauty for only $100. But I know what you guys are thinking. 50mm is fine, but you still need bigger. It's not a watch unless it's physically dangerous for anyone to be within 5 feet of you. You need something that doubles as a weapon if you're going to be surrounded by criminals in a dark alley. Don't worry, my friends. You'll feel like John Wick with this 52, yes, 52mm rope watch. And again, since this needs to double as a weapon, it can't be some puny 16 or 17mm thick like the others were. No. We need 19mm of Invicta thickness. Let's go. 5 feet away at all times. You also get the rope here, the most important feature. So Invicta wisely skipped unimportant things like legitimate materials or water resistance consistent with a watch this size. We didn't need any of that stupid stuff. Just the rope. Take my $99 Invicta. But if you somehow aren't loving these rope watches, I do have one more for you guys. This one is truly special. The full neochrome quartz chronograph. Man, ever since I was 13 years old and first laid my eyes on neochrome, I've been obsessed. I definitely didn't grow out of it 2 years later and become embarrassed I ever owned it. No. I've always wanted a full neochrome case and bezel watch. Thank you, Invicta. And thank you for slapping whatever the hell that dial texture is on there too, because clearly the neochrome just wasn't loud enough. so we needed a dial that clashes with the case as aggressively as possible. Brilliant stuff here. And don't worry guys, this deserves a proper canvas, so obviously this is another 52mm watch. But to be fair, they really trimmed down the thickness on this one, all the way down to only 18.5mm. So you get that nice feeling of wearing a large-sized deep dish pizza on your wrist, something Rolex can only dream of. And all of this for the amazing price of $125? Ugh. What the hell, Invicta? Seriously. The next company that sucks is Olevs. I could have put this company in the AliExpress brand guide because you can get these for, I don't know, $7 over there. But I saved them for Amazon because Amazon loves featuring them as an overall pick, which disgusts me. Not only are the materials terrible, jangly, thin, cheesy metal that doesn't feel like stainless, paired with cheap, loud, unreliable, no-name movements, their entire catalog is just offensively cheap-looking Submariner clones and painfully ugly, quote-unquote, original designs. Nothing they do is worth looking at twice, and they are not trying to make quality watches. They are trying to produce them for as cheap as possible and sell as many as possible. And it's annoying that we have to scroll through what feels like an endless void of their garbage while we try to find real watches. Don't spend $30 on these. If you insist on experiencing one, go to AliExpress and spend under $10 and use it as a paperweight. And I'll keep their section short, because we're going real in depth on one of their watches in a video soon, and I'll have plenty more to say over there. So stay tuned for that. Let's wrap this up with a much more positive category, a classic brand that feels like a hidden gem on Amazon. And that one is Orient. I've noticed that you kind of have to go hunting for Orient watches on Amazon. They don't always just show up if you search something like automatic watch. The Orient watches are timeless and beautiful, and Amazon is a great place to find them for solid prices. We've talked a lot about their landmark watch, the Orient Bambino, in previous videos. Every version is elegant, clean, and powered by one of their in-house mechanical movements. Bambino prices fluctuate constantly on Amazon because there are so many listings and generations, so it's worth just keeping an eye on all of them if you're shopping for one. But I also love the Orient dive watches. I'm going to show you guys a few here, and I'm just going to throw the reference numbers on screen because they are so dang long. But these all bring a restrained premium energy with their in-house automatics that punch way above the asking price. This first one is a gorgeous 41.5mm dive watch that's 13mm thick and delivers 200 meters of water resistance. This one uses Orient's in-house caliber F6922. You can find some listings for around 200, while other variations, like certain colors, float closer to 300. This next one is another stunning diver with the same 200 meters of water resistance, but uses Orient's in-house F6722, also hacking and hand widening. I love the dial colors in this one, especially the white and apricot. Orient just owns that shade. This one is also commonly priced around $200, depending on the different listings. And a different piece that feels more modern, especially for Orient, is this one. This is a 40mm solar-powered chronograph, and I'm a big fan of solar watches, so this one checks a lot of boxes for me. The case is also only 11.1mm thick, making great use of that Orient BS752 solar quartz chronograph movement, and it brings about 6 months of power reserve when it's fully charged. You can find this one for around $250 on Amazon, and it looks far more expensive than that. Another one styled along those same lines, but a bit more aggressive, is their Neo 70s Solar Panda. This one comes in a slightly bigger 42mm case, but it's also only 11.7mm thick. It also uses a solar movement, this time Orient's Solar Caliber KS-B00, and it's usually priced in the same neighborhood as the previous one, right around $250. So don't forget to keep your eye on Orient listings. These are hidden gems that don't always get pushed to the top of Amazon search results, but they are absolutely worth digging for. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for part 1 of the Amazon brand guide. And I think I've kept you guys here for over 30 minutes, so I won't keep you for any longer. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll be giving away another watch at 5,000 subscribers. And a quick reminder that every watch I mentioned in this video and didn't roast is affiliate linked in the description below. And stay tuned for part 2 and a bunch of watch reviews coming up soon. But until then, Shameless Watch Collector, signing out. And always remember, it's not that serious.